The reality of this business of selling final expense, life insurance, really other insurance products, is that there's a big multi-level marketing culture. There's a big push to recruit anybody with a pulse. And the people that run these MLM insurance agencies, pretty much everybody that you see on insurance job boards, a lot of my competitors in the YouTube space, all follow the MLM culture. They'll never admit it, but you kind of have to read between the lines and see it. And once you've been around long enough, you can kind of just tell by looking at it. The reality is that the people who run these organizations are very good salespeople. They know how to manipulate. They know how to motivate you in a way to get excited, to hear the things that you want to hear that may not necessarily be true. Like you can get rich quick, and this is an easy business. I've heard all of that, of course, in this business, and tend to be the driving force behind the interest and the traffic of getting involved in selling insurance of any kind. And it's not until you find out after the fact that they want you to do more of like recruiting than actually selling. And what you thought you were getting is not actually promised. So the big thing, I think a lot of reasons people get into this business is because of these MLM cultures and their preponderance and just overall scope in the business. But the flip side of that is that's also the reason why so many people fail. As a lot of these agencies just simply practice a spaghetti method, shotgun style approach to recruiting, throw it up against the wall, see what sticks. We know that 99% of the agents are going to fail. And we're just looking for that 1 or 2 out of every 100 recruits that will actually sell something that are just natural studs that don't need help, that just go at it. And let's just hope for the best. You may wonder on some level, why would an agency want to operate in such a way that 98, 99%, I mean, I gave 95%, it's probably higher than that, of agents that join them would fail out of the business. What in the world, how in the world would that make any sense? Well, you see, the thing that you don't know, and this is the reality that I had a couple of years into selling or recruiting, I should say, agents, is that MLMs and most insurance agencies, the very, very large ones, are designed to win even if you lose. I was talking to another YouTuber, Always Marcos, I think is his gentleman's name. He runs an anti-MLM YouTube channel. And what he was saying is, and it helped me kind of clarify this, is that the MLMs outside of the insurance agency business, they make money regardless if you make a sale, because you have to buy product from them. There's a markup from you to them already. And so even if you don't do anything like recruit anybody, you're still going to make money as the MLM. And that means that even with a high failure rate, they still win because they've moved product and made a profit at some level. Now, the way it works in the insurance business is that they don't move product necessarily, but they do encourage, especially in the life insurance side, to buy leads that frankly are just complete trash. Leads that are developed at very little price, that are really not leads, they're just data, almost the equivalent of glorified names in a phone book, are resold as leads multiple times over at 10, 11 bucks a piece. And what costs 25 cents to acquire, the agency makes a profit of $49, $50 per every investment of 25 cents. It's a crazy commissionable opportunity or profit opportunity, a cash cow. And they do that thousands upon thousands of times a day. And it's either some sort of a glorified data that's really not a lead, but they present it as such, or it's an aged lead that the cost has already been acquired, and to distribute it again a number of times costs them nothing, and it's just a cash cycle. So they can do this and recruit, and they don't really care to necessarily develop out the training systems and the processes necessary to help you succeed, because they'll make money anyway. There are well-known insurance agencies that operate in the MLM space that make millions of dollars just on lead sales every single month. I can't tell you who they are because they'll cease and desist me. If you have looked around a little bit, you might be aware of who we're talking about, and I would say you're probably right. But the point is that that's how these organizations can operate, and why that many people join these companies and they're like, this is garbage. There's no training. There's no support. Nobody's helping me out, because the MLM culture will prevail despite its ability to help its agents succeed, because they're convincing you on some level to buy their junk leads so that they can make money and win up front, even if you never make the first sale and or even get out there and make a sale. So the MLM culture is responsible for, while it's responsible for a lot of the interest in the business, it's also responsible for a lot of the failure. What's the solution there? Avoid MLMs. Don't be beholden by the hype. Look, if they're talking about their cars, their stacks of cash, their airplanes, their boats, their watches, and they show off all that stuff, it's like a magician's sleight of hand. They're showing you this stuff to distract you from what they're doing, to pilfer your pockets and rob you, in a sense, of the ability to have success in the business. So if it looks like it, if it smells like it, if it tastes like it, it is. Don't do the MLM thing. Look around, find agencies that don't do the whole show off stuff, that actually care about training you and developing you, and align with what your interests are. Another kind of way that's related to the agency system is there's a lot of agencies that don't have any kind of formal system to train you. And this kind of gets into point two, which is poor support and training. A lot of agencies, again, they operate in such a way to where it originates from a mass recruiting mechanism, but they don't have a kind of system in place to develop people who maybe they've got potential, but they need more hand-holding initially and one-on-one training to get to the point to where they start to see some success. So what we see a lot in this business that I think contributes to the failure of 95% of agents, number one, is that there are sometimes are trainers out there or agents that recruit that really are absent from the actual development process of the agent. They're either up to their eyeballs in personal production, or so busy that they can't train and be fully responsible for the development of their agent, or they may just have no street cred. I mean, they literally walked into the MLM or the agency and started recruiting people with a pulse without actually going out there and getting beat up and experiencing what it's like to sell. Excuse me. And then having wisdom that they can parlay and convey to their recruits to help them avoid the same pitfalls. So what you end up having are agents, you guys out there, that join these companies, and they sound good on paper. And then when you join, you realize that the trainers are either way too busy to help you, which is a disservice to you because you're giving up a career opportunity to come in and take a risk. You should get service and support. You shouldn't be relegated as a third-class citizen here. You know, you should be first class, because your potential to produce and make that trainer or that manager or the agency an override money is substantial. And you deserve to have support and training because of it. And likewise, if you're paired with somebody, as in many cases, with somebody who has had no experience at all actually selling, how can they even train you? I mean, think about it. I always like to use the analogy is if you are a medical student and you're learning surgery, why would you learn from somebody who has never actually cut a body open and have done the procedure you're supposed to learn? What would you even begin to learn from that person? And it's not, we're not talking like life and death here in the final expense or life insurance business, but nevertheless, we are talking about learning a skill set that's best learned from a master of the business that has been knee deep in prospecting, selling over the phone or in person. You're going to learn valuable lessons from somebody with street cred versus somebody who just was been told what to say and what to do, but has no firsthand experience. I hope that makes sense because for a lot of people, it doesn't. You need to have people who've been through the process and who actually care and are dedicated to developing you. And you find that very rarely in the MLM setup in a lot of agencies. And one of the things too that I think, and I can't help but to promote this concept because we've initiated it at DeFord Insurance Group, and it's made a profound, and I mean profound impact on the success of our agents, is the one-on-one mentorship model. Most insurance organizations follow the mass recruitment process. If there's any support or training, it's limited to videos and several days or longer before you get any sort of text back or email back trying to get help with placing business or underwriting your clients. And we followed something similar to that up to the end of 2022. Granted, we were a lot more engaged and the training was much better than average, but there was still room for improvement where one-on-one coaching and mentorship to answer the personal questions of the agent in a fast manner, in a structured manner, wasn't included in that program until we implemented it in 2023. There are just some things, as we've discovered doing this, that are best handled with real life conversations, not an email or a video. And when we implemented the mentorship model, more agents than ever had before had faster and larger success selling. We just interviewed a lady yesterday Jane, she started work with me before the mentorship program last year and was writing some business, but not a lot. Then moved into working with Joe, actually took a slight commission cut, and she's written more business in the period of time she's worked with Joe Bushalaki, one-on-one mentorship and coaching, than she had ever had prior to that. She tripled her production on average, which has just been absolutely phenomenal. So I say all this because you really need to have this. This is something I thought was optional. In most agencies, there's not even really good basic group training, much less one-on-one mentorship training. And there's so much to be learned and gathered, and the learning curve just has progressed at a much faster rate with one-on-one mentorship. And if you're not getting that, I know from personal experience with our improved success rates, there are agents who would fail had they not had the one-on-one mentorship program with us. So likewise, other agencies, if you're not getting a structured mentorship-based program, you're likely going to have a higher chance of failure. And so therefore, in my opinion, of course, I'm biased because I've seen it. I think one-on-one mentorship is non-negotiable. Every single agent should be getting that if they want to sell and be successful selling insurance. Hey, if you're liking this training, just wanted to let you know about my insurance sales success free training site. I've got over 30 plus hours of in-depth final expense, face-to-face telesales, as well as Medicare, ACA, and annuity trainings. My 3 best-selling ebooks completely for free, and you can go to davidduford.com/ISS to get a free account and get immediate access.